Hey there, I got another video. Not sponsored, but stuff from Galaxy of Games. Like I said, I just get their hardware just to make videos for. They're not sponsoring me in any way on this video, but here we are. 2 Game Boys they've given me. This one here does nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, that one there. This one's a little different. This one does turn on, and I get this wonderful screen. I got a game in there, the volumes, doesn't matter if I mess with the contrast, it just lightens and darkens the lines. And even with the volume all the way up, I never get any audio either. So I have a feeling it's not even loading the game properly. So we're gonna fix them. Let's start with the dead one. Oh. Man, oh man. Look at that. And then up, even on here. Alright, we got our work cut out for us on this one. This one is stuck in here good. This won't come out, so I'm just gonna desolder this whole pin here. It is quite grody looking. Let's do some wiggling and heating at the same time. There we go. How bad? How bad is it? How bad? Not great. Man, look at this. Even that's got some corrosion on it. So it's going to be a fun little job. I've got to test like these traces here and make sure they're good. Test the traces here, clean those up. I will take the... Debating whether to take this off or not, the cartridge slot, because it is quite filthy under there. All right, I'll mold that over. Above here, I don't see anything crazy. The back might just be cleaned up. I've seen a few shields like this that have looked kind of bad, but really that doesn't terribly matter as long as the border underneath it is good. So we'll clean all this up. I will get this taken out. I'm pretty sure I have a replacement, but at this point it's stuck in there pretty good. I'll get some vinegar and see if I can get rid of some of that corrosion in there, and I'll take these out. Oh, focus. I'll take these out as well. Clean those up, clean this up, clean this up. Other than the bit of corrosion on it, it looks like it's in decent shape. It's still pretty solid. Man, stuck in there. It would not come out. Okay, well that's where I'm at. I'll probably take this shield off and wash this shell anyway, because it's pretty dirty. And then we can kind of diagnose this. There's a lot of, I see there's corrosion even on that. Let's just see how well this kind of cleans up. So not really at all. I'm far less concerned about this board. Focus our attention on this bad boy. Right here. Oh my gosh, look. The Nintendo's just come right off. Oh, all the letters. They're stuck to this. Oh my gosh. Well, do what you gotta do, right? Better to have it working than not. Forget to mute things again. Okay. Let's get going on this. All right. Off camera, I took off the shield. Where's my tweezers? Tweezers. So off camera, I took off the shield because I really needed to check under here. And a bunch of these do not look so hot. You can see these traces have a lot of dark in them. And so I will need to test the continuity of every pin to these traces. And then I'll check a few of these random other ones. I might reflow a few of these. These look good for the most part up here. It's just this plane right here, but it looks like a ground plane. So as long as there's continuity, I guess, from one side to the other side somewhere, it's going to work fine. But yeah, I will get this under the microscope and we'll check these traces. And if they don't work, we could start fixing those. This one does not look good. It's black like all the way. Same with this one. So got those traced out, tested. Like I said, I'll probably reflow some of these on the volume control. This one just looks a little gunky. Anyway, I've just wiped it off with alcohol. I haven't done the PCB clean or anything yet, but the rest of this is just looks like residual flux and not anything to worry about. And then we'll assess the other side. So if I can get those traces all fixed up, I'll also clean up this right here. And if that looks good, we'll have to figure out if that's just a big ground plane, if that's even going to matter. I know it looks terrible, but if the cartridge goes in, pops out all these pins, then goes back up here, it's going to head back up to these chips, these vias up here. These vias, the CPU here. And so this may not matter down here. But we're going to find out. We're going to make sure everything looks good and has continuity. And we'll get her going. We're going to make this work. All right, we're back here again. Trying to figure out if some of these traces are bad because they all look horribly terrible. So I'm just doing a continuity check. This is actually the ground plane. Let's see. Where's a pin? Clear over here. Okay. The ground plane pin works. Let's go through these. Wow. Maybe? Oh, yep, works. Jeez. Well, surprisingly enough, those all work. We could check some of these. I'm pretty sure it'll work though. That one. Alright, well, so much for that idea. I thought this was totally going to be the issue. It's not. This ground plane's working, at least from there to there. That's, yeah, amazingly enough, that's working there to there. All these are working. We already know it works all the way up and around. Let's try this one. That works there. Let's focus just a tad bit better. Okay. We could check these. They still look a little grody, especially like this. Let's see. That works. That one, I don't know where it goes. That works. That works. That works. All those pins connect. So I don't know where that one goes. We could test this pin. So it looks a little funny there. Oh, right there. Well, everything looks good. Doesn't look good. Everything tests good on this board. Obviously, we haven't tested anything underneath here. Before we take this off, I'm going to actually clean this up, put that back in just in case that was the issue, because that was really messy. And also, let's focus a little better again. There we go. We're going to test these. White to white. Yep. Yep. So that line's good. Everything looks good on there. At this point, even the headphone jack looks decent. Right. Move on to the power board. Guess we can do the same thing here. Oh, this side. Oh, nope. Yep. Okay, connection's all the way over there. Good. Because this one looked a little bad too, especially over here. Let's give it a go. This one is connected to that rail all the way over here to the VCC. So, VCC over there. Surprisingly enough, works. Let's check a few more things. Oh, that goes up here. You can see right there. That works. That works. That pin to here works. 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 Here. Where is it? Goes down. Oh, right there. Works. DC. Everything's working. Well, surprisingly, everything is working. So we're going to do some cleanup here. This is going to be my main culprit. So this, and this, and this, of course. All these things. Let's clean them up. Let's clean them up, put them back on, and let's see what happens. All right, for these, I've got this unit at a thrift store. It's actually a denture cleaner, but it does ultrasonic cleaning. Got it for $2. I have filled it full of apple cider vinegar. My little parts are going to go right on inside. And look, we can already see them bubbling and fizzing away from the corrosion. So we're going to give that a few minutes. It's terrible noise. And we'll get them going. All right, it's been a whole 5 minutes. And we can already see everything looking real good. It's actually warm too. So I wonder if this is warm, heating it up as well. But yeah, man, look at those. Shiny, shiny. This one isn't as happy on the bottom, but I can always look into either replacing these altogether or nickel plating that when I'm done. But all the corrosion's gone. Let's get this back in and get a bench power supply hooked to it, see if it works. Just using this as a template, really. There, it just holds it in place nicely. Well, it's on. Screen doesn't look so hot, but it's on. Let's put a game in. Well, Well, we have no sound. But it does work. Now this was quite grody too, so we'll give that a good cleaning. But otherwise works. The screen is like slowly coming to life. I'm pretty sure there's some. Okay, well, the contrast works. We can see the lines on the screen. I'm sure there's some of the pins aren't in there very well or something. Pause, unpause. Let's clean up this sound slider, and then we'll check for the headphone jack. See what works. Yeah, this wheel was stuck when I tried to first do it. Hopefully it's not dead, but that's an easy fix. But yeah, we'll flood it with some cleaner here. I mean, it's rolling really easy now. No audio. All right, let's check. See if the headphone works while we're here. Oh, okay. Headphone jack works, so let's give that a good cleaning right there. Simpsons theme by Danny Elfman. I did not know that. Alright, there we go. Okay. Listen up, Simpsons. Okay. No audio. Okay, let's turn this around. Okay, we can hear audio now. So, the issue is 100% in this jack. Cool, let's get it sorted. Alright, after a bit of a fight with that stupid headphone jack, got it out, got it cleaned, back together. Let's test it. Good sign. Guess what? Sound works. Last thing, we're going to clean this whole thing and see if we can fix the screen. Let's take it apart. Alright, I got it hooked up. Apparently I only have one line now. The horizontal lines apparently are underneath here, this cable that goes underneath, and they're, from what I read, near impossible to try to fix. The vertical lines, however, wow, look at that mess I made. Wow. And they're slowly coming back. It's kind of funny. Don't. It's really funny that they're coming back as it cools. Well, this sad little screen. This Game Boy's had a hard life anyway. We're down to 1 or 2. One line. That's not even the spot where I started. Look, they're all gone. Yep. I've tried pushing along here to see if it helped those, but it hasn't. So all done.